Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Luka Doncic called Hall of Fame ball hog by analyst after consecutive Los Angeles Lakers losses. FS1's Chris Broussard delivered a withering critique of Luka Doncic. During his first month in Los Angeles, Doncic has been given an extended grace period to get on track, but the scrutiny, expectations, and even the demerits are magnified in the LA media bubble. Luka Doncic is a ball hog. A great ball hog. A Hall of Fame ball hog, future Hall of Famer. An all-time elite ball hog. He is a ball hog. Broussard proclaimed on First Things First. Broussard's remarks also signaled that his media honeymoon may be nearing its conclusion. This was ridiculous. You got all these guys just standing there watching you, Broussard exclaimed, motioning at a screen grab of Doncic dribbling on the perimeter. He took 9 shots in the first quarter. Okay. And actually, he took 4 or 5 free throws, so he probably took 11 shots in the first quarter. Broussard's criticism of Doncic is an about-face from his initial take on Doncic's assimilation into the Lakers lineup. 3 weeks ago, Broussard picked these Lakers to win the West. However, since ascending to the number 2 seed following a 10-2 February, Los Angeles has come crashing back down to earth. In March, Los Angeles has gone 6-7. Early in his Lakers tenure, Doncic was more deferential than usual. During his first month with LA, Doncic averaged a meager 22.9 points, a sharp decrease from the 28.5 points he manufactured on a nightly basis in Dallas. The thought process was that Doncic would be less of a gunner while buying more into a playmaking Luka Magic Johnson role, whipping outlandish passes to others, but that hasn't come to fruition quite yet. It's one thing to be ball dominant to set the table. It's another thing entirely to excessively pound the leather, and Doncic may be walking that hardened line between ball hog and ball dominant. When you are going 5 out and everyone is standing there watching you operate and LeBron James is a teammate. That ain't good, added Broussard. Look at LeBron. He's treating LeBron like Chris Bosh and Kevin Love felt. What will Rob Pelinka choose on these 6 big extension decisions for the Lakers? The NBA playoffs are getting closer by the day, and for the Los Angeles Lakers and their fans, that's a fact that is both exciting and fear-inducing. The Lakers were on a serious run last month, and their acquisition of Luka Doncic vaulted them into a select group of teams that have a chance at making some serious postseason noise. That excitement has been tempered by the current health situation of the team. The Lakers have been struggling in the past couple of weeks as they've dealt with the extended absences of LeBron James and Rui Hachimura, and the lingering injuries to Luka, Jackson Hayes, and Dorian Finney-Smith. The good news is that LeBron and Rui came back on Saturday. The bad news is that the Lakers got mollyhopped by the Chicago Bulls 146-115. 2 nights later, they lost by double digits to the Magic. The NBA playoffs are getting closer by the day, and for the Los Angeles Lakers and their fans, that's a fact that is both exciting and fear-inducing. The Lakers were on a serious run last month, and their acquisition of Luka Doncic vaulted them into a select group of teams that have a chance at making some serious postseason noise. That excitement has been tempered by the current health situation of the team. The Lakers have been struggling in the past couple of weeks as they've dealt with the extended absences of LeBron James and Rui Hachimura, and the lingering injuries to Luka, Jackson Hayes, and Dorian Finney-Smith. The good news is that LeBron and Rui came back on Saturday. The bad news is that the Lakers got mollyhopped by the Chicago Bulls 146-115. 2 nights later, they lost by double digits to the Magic. The lead up to the postseason is going to be extremely interesting to see what kind of seed the Lakers are able to grab and what they're able to do with it, but it's not all that the front office and the fan base should be worrying about. This is going to be a critical offseason in LA, and that starts with trying to get Luka to commit to a long-term extension. The former Maverick is still under contract for one more season past this one, and he has a player option for 2026 to 27, but if general manager Rob Pelinka isn't able to extend him this summer, it's going to make for an awkward, tension-filled time next season. All indications are that Luka is enjoying his time in LA, which would make it surprising for him not to re-sign, but still. Let's get it done. Technically, Luka's decision can wait, even if nobody in Lakers Nation wants that to happen. There are 6 other Lakers though who Pelinka is going to have to decide on sooner. Today we're taking a look at all 6 of them, and placing our bets on the most likely course of action. Jackson Hayes. Nearly all of the players on our list can be found on the lower end of the depth chart, but not Jackson Hayes. The way Hayes has gone from vilified backup to indispensable starter this year might just be unprecedented. The Lakers were so worried about their center position after trading away Anthony Davis that they followed that blockbuster move up by trading for Mark Williams just a few days later. We all know by now how that deal fell apart, but rather than being up the proverbial creek without a paddle, the Lakers have been more than fine to rely on Hayes as the main guy. That might not still be the case when Pelinka has all offseason to search the market, and besides, Hayes-inspired play has only increased his value and the odds that other teams will try to sign him. It's going to be difficult for the Lakers to keep him for a number that makes sense for their cap situation, especially when they'll be looking for an upgrade at the same time. I'd expect Hayes to be playing somewhere else next year, but good for him. He's earned it. Cam Reddish and Alex Len. J.J. Redick gave Cam Reddish a shot as his 3-and-D guy earlier in the season, but the arrival of Dorian Finney-Smith, combined with his being outplayed by Dalton Knecht, rendered him superfluous. Like Knecht, he was part of the package that was supposed to be sent to Charlotte for Mark Williams, but unlike the rookie, he hasn't seen much playing time since the deal was rescinded. He scored a grand total of 15 points since New Year's. Alex Len was brought in as a Hail Mary after the Williams deal fell apart, but he's been outplayed by Hayes, Trey Jemison 3 and Christian Koloko at the 5. The 10 points he scored when the Lakers trotted out their second unit against the Bucks last week more than doubled his total in purple and gold. Jovan Buha, the senior NBA reporter covering the Lakers for The Athletic, speculated on his Buha's Block podcast that Reddish and Len could be on the chopping block if and when the team converts at least 2 of the two-way contracts of Jordan Goodwin, Jemison, and Koloko. Those decisions will all need to be made soon, as all 3 are coming up on the 50-game maximum for two-ways. Converting any or all of these to full contracts would make that player eligible for the postseason, and with Jackson Hayes' ongoing spotty health and a dearth of other frontcourt options, this seems like the best course of action. Alex Len was brought in as a Hail Mary after the Williams deal fell apart, but he's been outplayed by Hayes, Trey Jemison 3 and Christian Koloko at the 5. The 10 points he scored when the Lakers trotted out their second unit against the Bucks last week more than doubled his total in purple and gold. Jovan Buha, the senior NBA reporter covering the Lakers for The Athletic, speculated on his Buha's Block podcast that Reddish and Len could be on the chopping block if and when the team converts at least 2 of the two-way contracts of Jordan Goodwin, Jemison, and Koloko. Those decisions will all need to be made soon, as all 3 are coming up on the 50-game maximum for two-ways. Converting any or all of these to full contracts would make that player eligible for the postseason, and with Jackson Hayes' ongoing spotty health and a dearth of other frontcourt options, this seems like the best course of action. Jordan Goodwin and Christian Koloko. As mentioned above, Goodwin and Koloko could become fully guaranteed soon. Goodwin especially has earned it, as he's done a light impression of Max Christie since working his way into the rotation. He's playing nearly 26 minutes per game this month, partly due to the amount of injured players on the roster, but also because he has J.J. Redick's trust. He seems a lock to stick around long-term. Koloko hasn't done as much, but the Lakers are desperate for bodies up front, and he at least has one of those. He hasn't been as solid as Jemison though, which puts his future beyond this year in doubt. It seems to be a guarantee that at least one new center will be in the fold next year. If Hayes and Jemison stay, there will be no room for Koloko. Even if Hayes leaves, Pelinka will likely look for an upgrade in the free agent backup center market. Markieff Morris. Unless the Lakers are resting their entire starting five, there isn't much playing time to be found for Markieff Morris these days. That may not matter though, as he's carved out a spot as a trusted locker room voice and bench veteran on this team. LeBron James may be the oldest player on the court, but Morris could be the elder statesman on the bench. I'd bet that Pelinka brings him back for his leadership and because his new teammates seem to love him. Lakers predicted to part with Rui Hachimura for center in massive trade proposal. Will the Los Angeles Lakers move on from one of their core pieces this summer? Ishan Bhattacharya of Fadeaway World writes that starting small forward Rui Hachimura may have to be offloaded in order for LA to acquire a major Jackson Hayes upgrade. More Los Angeles Lakers, former NBA forward has strong prediction for Lakers playoff run. Hayes has been LA's starting center by default. The Lakers flipped 10-time All-Star big man Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks as part of their blockbuster deal for 5-time All-NBA first-team guard Luka Doncic. Los Angeles also received reserve center/power forward Maxi Kleber back in the deal, but he remains on the shelf while recuperating from a foot surgery. The Lakers did make a bid to add Mark Williams in a trade with the Charlotte Hornets, but the move was rescinded after Williams failed his physical. Los Angeles also waived Christian Wood. Thus, Hayes is the guy for the rest of the year, with Alex Len and two-way players Christian Koloko and Trey Jemison III serving as his insurance off the bench. Doncic has helped the 7-footer out of Texas look better than ever during his 6th NBA season. Hayes is averaging 6.8 points on 71.8% shooting from the field and 67.5% shooting from the foul line, 4.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.0 blocks and 0.6 steals a night. The rebounding. In the proposed deal, the Lakers would add rim-rolling big man lob threat Onyeka Okongwu from the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Hachimura and the Lakers' 2031 first-round draft pick. More Los Angeles Lakers. NBA insider says Lakers must avoid West rival at all costs in postseason. This deal elevates the Lakers as a whole, with the team not needing to play someone like LeBron, James, or Dorian Finney-Smith out of position to cover the need for a center outside Hayes, Bhattacharya writes. Okongwu is not just a short-term solution but a long-term one, as the 24-year-old center can thrive alongside Doncic for years to come. Across 64 contests for the 35-36 Hawks this season, the 6'8" USC product, a Chino Hills native, is averaging 13.0 points on 57.7% shooting from the floor and 74.6% shooting from the charity stripe, 8.6 boards, 2.3 dimes, 1.0 blocks, and 0.9 swipes a night. Adding Hachimura to their exciting group of forwards would be a great move, Bhattacharya opines. He could be another piece they move for additional assets or find him in their rotation alongside Zachary Razasher and Jalen Johnson. Getting that future first-round pick will be the Hawks' primary objective, as that's a decent return for a player like Okongwu. Although Hachimura is the same height as Okongwu, he is playing somewhat out of position at the 3 spot. The Gonzaga alum is averaging 13.0 points on a .504/.403/.760/ line, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.4 assists a night for Los Angeles. He replaced former center Clint Capella in January as Atlanta's permanent starter. Time will tell if the 43-28 Lakers season will end in the franchise's record-tying 18th championship, or if they'll need to go center shopping this summer. Heck, even if they do win, the Lakers may still look to bring on more center help in the offseason anyway. Are you a fan? What do you think about Onyeka Okongwu's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.